this works.
Yeah, perfect. Can you hear me?
Yeah, awesome. All good. Good to see
Fantastic.
you.
Good to see you too. Let me just put
This
my
meeting is being recorded.
everything on Do Not Disturb, so then nobody disturbs us.
So no worries. It's always funny when I jump on first calls because before that, like I've seen your face, of course, I've seen your name a lot, but then suddenly it's like, oh shit, it's a real person behind the screen.
Imagine. I'm real.
I think I've seen your content for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's happening with you? Oh, you have a microphone and everything. So professional. Look at you.
It's I think without this microphone, I sound like shit. But with this microphone, I feel so serious. I feel like, oh shit, I'm a professional. I've been doing this for
That's so
10 years
funny.
now, but yeah, I uh,
Damn.
I didn't feel that professional before. It really is the microphone.
It's the microphone. Or is
Yeah.
it the microphone giving you permission to feel professional?
Ah, I see.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. The only thing I'm missing is a good
Uh-huh.
chair. I have like a random wooden chair right now. I don't know if you can see
Oh
it.
no. Oh
But
no.
besides that, my office looks awesome. I have like my giant screen. I have my laptop. I have another third screen that I haven't installed yet. I just
Hmm.
we're kind of in the middle of moving. It's a little messy, but my desk is awesome again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that actually helps a lot. A friend of mine told me, well, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, because
Hmm.
before I was like, oh yeah, I've got to travel and like just a laptop lifestyle. But
Yeah.
whenever I walk into my office now, I'm like, shit, it's very nice. This feels very, very good.
Yeah. 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 No, absolutely. Like I've done traveling and living the laptop lifestyle for like almost 4 years. Like since the end of 2020. So no, it's been actually 4 years for sure. Almost five. And when I decided to sort of settle down last June, and I got my desk, I got my chair, I got my laptop, the desktop and everything. And now I'm like, when I'm traveling and I have to work from my laptop, I'm like, oh my God, this is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's so slow and nothing works. Like I need my split
Yeah,
screen.
exactly. I'm like, I need, a bigger screen. I need to see like a bunch of different things, like I need a comfortable chair. It's wild. But like it used to be in I used to work, like from like sitting on the floor at the airport waiting for my flight, and that was fine. And then now I'm like, okay, I'm getting a bit bougie, but
Yeah, yeah, I see you got the fancy gaming chair.
yeah, yeah. I'm not a gamer. I don't play games, period. Like I've never really done that, but I do love the chair because I do
Yeah.
spend a lot of time behind my computer and my back is not bothering me when I'm sitting in the chair. So
I think that's the only thing that I've been procrastinating is to buy a proper chair. 'Cause I feel like they're too expensive. Like it's just my ass. Like it, it, my ass isn't the doesn't really compare that much. So it'll be fine. But right
well,
now I'm
if
like,
you really, yeah, if you really think about it, like this chair was like $500, right? But I sit in this chair every single day, and like this chair is going to last me for years. As a matter of fact, this is my second chair. Like I had the same chair. I bought it back in 2020, and I left Boston at the end of 2020, and I basically gave my stuff away to like my friends.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
one of my friends is still using this chair like 5 years later, and it still looks like new. So $500 for 5 years using it every single day is actually a pretty good bargain, you know?
Awesome. Do you have other things you really recommend? Like, are there specific things which you would say it's totally worth it?
I mean, sugar daddy.
Very Eastern European answer.
Kidding. Yeah, I was actually just chatting with a friend of mine about that. I mean, honestly, like I don't know if you have like a stand-up desk, but the stand-up desk is great. And now
Thought you were
also
gonna say, I don't know if you have sugar daddy, but
well, if you do, we can talk about it. The only reason I got on this go, right? No, I also just got myself Christmas the like at home trail, like a mini trail thing,
hmm?
and I love it. It's so great because like if I'm doing the research, right, or like if I'm on calls usually with my students, I'll just happen to think like okay, with like the brain cells moving too, you know.
You're hitting your 10K steps today.
Oh, easily. Well, it's never been a problem. Like I get my 10 steps like 8 9 hours in my chair. So
I actually don't know if I want to prove it. I feel like you're yeah, so I'm able to it.
I was kind of something on the this is like the snake signs, like no, whatever. It helps with letting my brain do what it does actually. So that's why I was for 2 weeks and it was cold and gray and not very well there and would like read me like it's,
Just walked months to much people.
yeah.
Wait, just to report on you moved to the States.
No, so I want to make so yeah. So it was the when I said was like I said any other way like I said but I just 100% I need for it. A lot of the times like if this is for me, if it's not for me, I need to try first. And that
Mhm.
was basically the idea and the goal with the digital nomad. I thought after watching a bunch of YouTube videos that this might be the lifestyle that I would love to have.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, why not travel? And so I did. And then after about 2 years, I was like, okay, this is getting a bit too hard. And yeah, but I tried it and then I came back to the United States in June of 20, well, actually, no, May 2024. Yeah.
Awesome. Was there like some kind of specific moment or specific experience where you were like, okay, this is it. I'm not changing anymore?
As in what regard?
Like something happened, was there a specific project or something that you changed, and at that moment you decided like, I want to pursue, continue working as a digital nomad? Or do you have moments where you're like, oh,
Mm.
maybe I should go back to a normal life?
Oh, no, well, the thing is, the reason, probably the silliest reason was obviously, I live like out of a suitcase basically. Like I was slugging, a ginormous suitcase with me everywhere I went, right? And while traveling is great, and you get to see a lot of places, and you get to see, and I got to see and meet a lot of people, and I have a lot of friends all over the world, right? Which is great, and I love that, and I really appreciate that. The problem was that, with traveling, you have to like, let's say you travel to, I don't know, um, Mexico, right? And you stay for a month, right? About 3 weeks, you have to figure out where to go, right? You have to find the tickets, you have to find the tickets, right? That is stressful, like, oh, you go there, you find tickets, and that's week. But then, so that was a bit of like, kind of like at first, the first 2 years, I was like, it's great, this is so awesome, adventures, there are a lot of times I'm like, I'm just gonna go, whatever. Um, but the other issue was that I did not have an actual closet, right? So like I would have to, a lot of my friends have different pieces of my clothes just because, you know, I would go there, you know, like leave my stuff there, you know, buy something, you just gotta go. So also not having the, you know, the closet and the options to dress, you know, and all things. That also was kind of that was another thing,
Is
and
that the biggest problem thing that you don't
that was
have?
the biggest problem for the year, you know, for sure. But really, I think the biggest thing that getting bigger, and that meant for me, you know, being a business owner, and I knew that in order for me to do that, I had to settle down somewhere. So
Yeah,
then I would have, you know, peace of mind. I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, where to go, you know, all the things, and use the energy to then put in, you know, towards something that I'm, you know, growing and building and doing right now. So that was probably the main issue.
gotcha. Where did you move again?
Florida.
Florida, yeah.
Mhm.
Why that? Like, what's so
Oh,
special about
Florida is amazing. I mean, I don't like, I know a lot of people shoot in Florida, but it's because they've never really been here. They've never really
it?
explored
Mm-hmm.
the state, but
See
Florida is
Florida, man.
great. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, you know, most people think Florida is like Miami. I personally hate Miami.
Hmm.
Have you ever been to Miami?
Never
No.
even set foot in the States actually.
No, then. So, you know, Miami is Miami, and it's like a, you know, teeny tiny sort of area. Um, Florida itself is absolutely gorgeous place. You know, like I'm a nature person, right? Like I love
Hmm.
the ocean. You know, you probably see all of my Instagram stories like about water and everything. Right? You have the ocean, right? You like you don't have the mountains or anything, but you also have, you know, different types of trees. There's a bunch of different birds, you know, and it's beautiful, right? It's different, you know. And the other part that I love, you know, it's sunny, but I also love rainbows, and there's so many rainbows here. Like it's wonderful. But also I
That's the
do
selling
like the
point.
people. Yeah, but I do like the people, right? Like a lot of people will say, you know, oh, there's so many rednecks and whatnot. But the reality is that these rednecks are really awesome, direct and straight people, and they're always looking out. I go for a walk here, actually, I much like random people. You know, they walk in, you know, like walking their dogs, you know, we'll smile out there, have like a thing too. You know, it's like compliment. It's like it's wonderful. I go for a walk every single time, and I come back and I feel so bloody great. So why not move here? You know. But for those who are not here, do not move. We don't you.
Do you
Please don't.
do you ever feel like because you settle down, it's much easier to find like your own tribe and your own people, rather than when you're traveling, you see people, you meet them, and then you kind of leave them?
That's a really good question. I would say that as a person, I love being by myself.
Hmm.
Like the best time that I have usually is when I'm by myself. This is how I recharge, right? And so traveling for me was actually great because I would get to, you know, see people or meet people and I'll spend some time with them. But like I wouldn't be with them all the time, right? And that, I mean, like I miss all of my friends are not in this state, not in Florida. They are kind of all over, and I do miss, you know, having the ability to just kind of like, you know, walk 5 minutes down the street, you know, like and meet my person or my friend, right? Um, that being said, like I wouldn't say that I have found my tribe here in Fort Lauderdale simply because my focus is on doing what I do right now. So something has to go. And for me, that is so aspect of my life, right? I still, you know, I talk to my friends every single day, right? Bunch of my friends are coming in like February and March because obviously, you know, Florida is warm. In Canada, it's cold. Boston's cold. But it's kind of like, you know, or I would go somewhere, right? Like once every month or two for like a couple of days, but then I'm here by myself, you know, doing my thing. You know, I'll see people kind of meet them on the street, but it's not like, you know, like partying up and everything. I mean, like I'm old, I'm done with parties and stuff. So I would say that my tribe is literally everywhere, and that's the beauty of it, right? But I still prefer to be by myself.
Yeah, I think it's good because you can kind of get recharged by meeting them every once and then, but like
Yes, yes,
all the
yes.
other time you can really focus on your goals and like the big
Hmm.
projects you're working on. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, exactly.
at least to me like gives me a lot of purpose. Like I'll for months all thing I'll do is like work, and then when I
Hmm.
take off, it's like fully like there's nothing else,
Yeah,
nothing matters.
yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah. Kind of in a way, yeah. Like it gives like it's kind of like, because I think as people we can't really work, like 365, 24/7 nonstop. Right? Like you have to have those, like times when you recharge. So like, I'll do, 60 to like 90 days like full focus, right? And then like I'll go and meet my friends and do something, right? It's not to say that I don't, just like decide to go somewhere, like, buy a ticket and go. Like that will happen when I decided to go to Warsaw. I was like, why not? But the tickets a week later are worse, right? But usually I try to sort of, structure my life now is, focus is, growing the business, and then I see friends, recharge again, focus on growing business, and then that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Awesome.
Hmm.
I remember you had this copywriting program, right? Is that still alive, or when you talk about business owner, like you work on other projects?
I work on other projects. So like I do have, copy canteen is still a thing, and I don't advertise it whatsoever. Like people just come to me and ask. It's not my main thing. Like I love
Hmm.
coaching and I love, helping people, but it's not a way for me to make money. Not like it's not really making me any, like, like millions of dollars. I just never want to be the guru who makes the money, the most amount of money through
Yeah.
basically coaching people. You know what I mean? I also don't want to be identified just as the sort of copy coach because there's
Hmm.
so many different things and interesting things that I do, and the interesting thing about me as a person. So I do have multiple different projects, and the copy coaching is just something that my soul really enjoys, and I do that because I really love it.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like so when you're okay with like teaching other people and coaching them, you need like
Mhm.
you'll be forced to like simplify things and get a
Yeah.
much deeper understanding yourself as well. So it's a very nice way to learn and improve.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't know if you've heard of this quote. I don't know, I can't remember exactly who said that, but teacher learns twice, right? Or like teacher student is twice,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because first you learn and then you teach. As a teacher, you also learn, right? So that's partially reason why. But in other things, because I'm a very creative person, what teaching that allows me to do, I don't know if it's similar to you, is it helps me to sort of systematize my brain in a way, like
Yeah.
my thoughts, right? And just be like, right, so this is what I do, like, and step one, step two, step three. Because for me, a lot of the times I do something because I feel this is the right way to do it. Um, but then when people ask, oh, like, how did you do that? I'm like, oh, wait, I need to like, break it down and kind of reverse engineer
Yeah.
it, which helps then me understand like the reason why I did what I did, or why we decided to call, like and make this copy or like this, funnel, like this chat, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Did you do anything else before copywriting, like research in digital marketing?
Ask me what I didn't do before I tried to figure it.
Digital marketing,
Well, doing a long story or a very short one.
whatever you want.
um, so, you know, I'm an immigrant, right? Or like part of my, I guess, story, life story is that I moved to the States and I had to start pretty much from zero, right? So at the age of 20, you move to a different country, you don't speak the language, like, I, like, I gotta survive somehow. So I started as a I used to work at the restaurant, you know, like the waitress and and you know washing dishes and like people take that there as a situation and as well we was company really there's an example I kind of and how I heard to like when I was young, right, I know like know that even knew more than they did, like my knowledge was very superficial. And so I did or like branding and so I decided to get a bachelor's degree in health and health science and kinesiology just to sort of understand. And as I was doing that, I fell in love with coaching and personal training and all this stuff and I realized no, I don't want to cure the disease, I'd rather prevent it.
Hmm.
And
I
so
like that.
that was, yeah, so that was my first sort of exposure to sales because you have to sell yourself, as I've learned. Also would help if you did speak the language, which I didn't at that time. So it was fun. Um, but through that, what I have, obviously, like I was like, all right, I need to sell. And how do you do that? You could do what most of my, I would probably call them peers, people who
Mhm.
work at, just around what that you work at kind of gives you. But I was like, well, like I just want to learn how to sell, how to do all the things. And so I somehow started reading different books. I stumbled upon a lot of marketing podcasts by Joe Polish. I stumbled on um, what is it, ClickFunnels guy. His podcast. They're just like I was like reading, like I had tons of books and just like was consuming everything. And I was trying to like email out like I'm gonna send them like email once, whatever.
Oh
So
shit!
and I was
Sorry,
doing
what year
something.
was that when you saw the emails?
Good question. Let's see. So I became a personal trainer in 2013, officially started in 2014. So pretty much like 2015, 2016.
Hmm.
But the things
Okay.
I didn't know that I was doing email marketing, right? I was just like, oh, it makes sense.
Mhm.
These people say,
Yeah.
you have to nurture people, like how they do that. Oh, emails, right? I have their emails, right? Like I would call them, like I would call my prospects and like the thing that I used to get in trouble for at the gym that I work at is I would all go off the script during the sales process. And the reason was, like, well, hey, that's my personality. But the reason was because, like, to me, it didn't make sense to force something that I felt like it wasn't right. So, like, I would just,
Mhm.
like, listen to the person, right? And then just kind of, make up shit as I went, basically,
You would
Um,
be natural.
Well, I would say I would be like my first year as a personal trainer was like it was really, really, really hard. Later
Hmm.
on, like I learned and everything. So, um, but yeah, so like I was just kind of like learning and like wasn't I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like like Joe Polish said do this, and I was like okay, let me just give this a try, and all the like I've given so many free sessions and like free boot camps and this and that. They were just like um so yeah, at that time I didn't know I was doing marketing, but I would say probably in 2019.
Hmm.
So when I was a personal trainer, I also was doing pretty much similar thing that I did with copywriting is like, I would go to different masterminds, like different events and whatnot. And again, not to make the story very, very long, but I somehow got my work publishing in one of the pretty famous websites for online personal trainers. And then through that, I met a couple of people. And so basically what happened was, I started writing. And so through that, I've met, which then became my very first copywriting mentor, Mike Samuels. And I bought his program about copywriting, like how to become a copywriter, but I never actually done anything with it. As anybody who's probably watching this, um, you buy a course, like, I'm gonna get you, you never bloody do.
Okay, sure, that's all good.
Exactly right. And so I bought it and I worked it, and that was that. And then 2020 happened. And then when 2020 happened, uh, I had closed my studio because I couldn't train people. Most of my
Mhm.
clients were um, either doctors or so they couldn't even use Zoom. And I was very like with my clients, they still trying to sort of help me, like figure out how we can work together. But I was back in the corner with like not having money because you don't train people, you don't have money. And I was hey, I'm thinking to do this sort of program, mentorship thing. Would you be interested in? I was like, yes, but obviously it would depend on money. And so him and Jamie launched his program, and I decided to basically dive in, give myself 3 months, get myself more into that, and then see what happens. And the rest is history.
Awesome. I actually think the best copywriters I know were actually business owners like yourself or through something else, and they never consciously thought about it. They didn't like actively buy a course and learn that, but they just learned through experience. And now all they need
Yeah.
to translate into something else, and they're so much better. Like they're so much better. I think.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah. I think that, and I know some people won't agree with me, but maybe that's okay. But the thing is, we all learn by doing.
Yeah.
That's like that's our nature. Like look at how, and I don't know if you have kids, right? But like when you are as a baby, right? Like you learn how to turn from like from back to your tummy, from time to back by trying, right? Like you just do. You learn how to walk by doing what? Getting up, trying to walk, pulling ass, trying that again, right? You learn how to talk. Do what? Eventually, you say mama, and then it's dada, and then it's something else, right? And then when we grow up, all of a sudden it's like, oh, gotta open my mindset. Really? Since when?
Very proud of myself. When I told me like about mindset, I just didn't believe that, whatever. But it was really, I think, my personal arrogance where I was like, I'm until like, this level, like, oh shit. And at that point, I
Mhm,
realized like how important it was, and like there's so much more to think about, and like
mhm,
especially like the conscious, active thinking about like, oh, what's next, and how can I actually fix it or solve it or like cross certain limiting beliefs. Whereas before, I'm like 8 10 months, and I was stuck there for 2 years. I'm like, oh shit.
mhm,
It was really important, like with the mindset. Oh shit! But if I just change it this way, like for example, like
mhm,
said, like being a business owner and trading hours, you could grow so much more. Like it cases take a lot of time and energy, but this one has so much more leverage, and just those a huge difference for me and my personal life. Not just
mhm.
career wise, but everything around as well.
Well, the thing is about mindset, like I don't say that it's not important. It really is. But the question that I always have is, if mindset is that important, how come that people minded for something and they're still in exactly the same place that they are, right? There's always something like, oh, there isn't a limiting belief that I need to work on. There's another limiting. And it's like, how many limiting beliefs do you need to move through first before you decide to take the step, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is, I, I personally know so many 8 and 9 figure business owners who do spend time working on the mindset, but it's not the mindset work
Mm-hmm.
that at least you and I sort of have been aware and have been introduced to. Their mindset work is meditation, right? Thinking, knowing how to think, not the way that we've been told this is the way you need to think, but actually listening to yourself, finding that inner voice, and not really coming and going and seeking answer outside, but really
Mhm.
actually knowing the answer from within, right? So their mindset kind of, slightly different. But the third thing, which I have been sort of, I guess that this is my lesson at the very beginning of 2025, is that until you realize at a certain point that, yes, limiting beliefs are, important. Some of us have traumas, right? And all the things. But you have to realize that you are not a child anymore. All the things that had happened to us in the past, there are in the past, right? If you still acting out of as a child, you still trying to figure out, you know, like find somebody to protect you, do whatever, you, you still acting out as a child. And no matter how many hours you spend on the mindset, no matter how many hours you spend on like removing these beliefs, until you realize that, until you don't realize, until you realize that you are actually an adult, and
Mhm.
what is happening right now and in the future depends on what you do now as an adult, not as a child. Nothing is going to change. You can masturbate to the mindset goals like all you want, 20 hours a week, but nothing really changes because really it's like as adults we have responsibility, right? Kids don't really want to do
Mhm.
responsibility. But once you're okay with that responsibility, right, that's like, and in mind work, years.
But there is true, like it holds so tight in the past and what you see if you're hurting about the next future and like
Oh, of
didn't forget.
course, of course, But like if you are consistently being told that there is one more thing that you need to fix about your past, how can you move forward ever? There's so many things that you supposedly need to fix about your past, right? It's like, really? Do I? And according to,
Yeah. I wonder like the mindset which is like do I actually think this 100% need or is it things out the million is then okay I
well,
go with it.
I would say that there are some minds who see really this way insight and then they sell. And there's some people who think would say like 3, 4, 5 levels above, they understand that to sort of gaslight and manipulate people into believing certain specific things is to get them, you know, uh, um, for mental masturbations, right? Because
Yeah.
when people
So I feel
come
like
and ask questions nonstop, it is a with like it would be like reader press yes like it's not hard it'd be like also dead right so but then like you like bosses and cars all things so yeah
the Lord or life card. What was in the card.
There's some though, and they're cool. Like, honestly, me, wouldn't after to me this honestly this the connect and that I believe someone will go and do and associate itself with. So if everyone would be pretty.
Do you believe in anything like that at all? Like astrology or
I believe in myself.
that's the best answer, I think.
Exactly. I don't really like. I, I think it's like I have astrology as a probably it has existed for us, right? And that's very different. But what I do mostly believe in that they'll create our own little right? And what belief is on that, right? It seems like they did so when like you believe can't really get some before.
That emotion. Well, we're happy white. I'm then the but we like that. I have this. Like
The thing is, yes and no. I would say that like I'd be very private person. Sort of know the more and when you influence that to happen, that very well would always push be friends out, right? Though we're out now, so and this is the advice for people, and this is what I tell all of them. If you see a you have so I have the real things that the people they were looking at, like even people also have their being graceful. Right?
no, so I mean the fact that what post.
And the what's designed to I'm with the place some words like everything that they say I'm the type of person who's like, I will be quiet, but once and when I do have undeniable proof of truth behind me, you better believe that if I'm saying something, there I'm standing on like legs, and those legs are really fucking straight, right? And so like I was kind of like hesitant to post it, but I did post, and I knew that like there could be a potential of backlash. There could be somebody that it's a very public, right? It's like for me to say just to for the sake of it, for the attention. There's no need. Like, what would I do, right? Like people already knew my name, right? So I made a post specifically for the reason of like helping other people because I knew, like I have so many people reaching out to me every single day, like sharing their experiences, whatnot. So I made a post. After that, what happened was that people actually reached out and thanking me for standing up, for saying something. That was like the biggest thing that I got out of that was that I was able to help a few people. Then I don't remember his name, but he decided just not to, his friends. Apparently, that was the client.
I remember.
And honestly, my thing is that I don't really know his reasons, right? Maybe what he said, why he did that actually is true. I have my own sort of thing, but honestly, it's like whatever. It happened. It happened. Like I just the truth was on my side, right? So anyway, so there was a lot of kind of back and forth. Like I let it grow a little bit without really, saying, and then eventually I was like, there's only one way to sort of kill that is you really show the proof. That's what I did, right? So, and then the
You sent a screen recording or something, like
yeah,
yeah.
No, and it's like something that people know is actually allergy from home. So I did a great story, saying this by something out of that. So like this whole thing is true, and that like I never did for the attention, never really that like it was like most things that I do in life is to help other people. that's what I think I am here in, at least in this soul recreation, I would say.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's what I mean. People ask me like to to create like t-shirts and whatnot, and I did. But again, like if I really wanted to, like if it was just for the attention, I would take, like my coaching, and everything. But I didn't. It just to me, it's like,
Yeah.
I couldn't care less. You know.
I think it was a really, really good post. I know a lot of people, and even for myself, I've struggled with it a lot over the years. Like so many people that just
Mm,
don't pay me out, and very often I just felt like, oh, I just let it go. Like I just
yeah.
not worth it. Um,
Hmm.
but especially for like when you're newer in the game, that stuff hurts a lot. Like you put in a lot of time
Yeah.
and effort, like
No.
not
Yeah.
just writing them, but everything before that. Like you do the research, like you need to
Hmm.
study, like you got to figure out stuff before you get to that point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
spend like several weeks and like, oh, fuck, and then nothing
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think just that one post, it just inspired of didn't just inspire me, but a lot of other people, like people I know, they were also talking about you and your post, like, oh shit, like we should stand up because it's not okay, and like
No.
you're probably not going to be the last person they fuck over. Like
Yeah.
there will
No.
be
Well,
people after, and
yeah.
maybe that, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is also like, and some people will like just part of the business, whatever. But I'm like, okay, if it's a part of the business, why are we accepting that shit? First of all, we are a business owner speaking to a business owner. Like, while freelancing is a freelancing, what I have to realize was that I am not just a freelancer. This is my business. This is my service
yeah,
business. And so if I am as a business owner allowing other business owners to treat me like shit, like what does it say about me? That's the
yeah,
first thing. The second thing is like money. Okay, like yeah, sure, like that is disrespect. But when you call me names, when you call me, you, you know, call my copy, my work, certain names, you're not just cheating on me. You're cheating on the people that I've learned from, and that's a lot of people with a lot of stuff behind their belts. Like I've learned from most of the people that everybody knows. Right? So it's like it's all right. Like if you were to, that point with your big in marketing, right? Piece of shit that I but everything goes well, right? Yeah, I am, just like, girl, whatever. Like, no, it will not take that, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing is like, yes, there are sometimes ways and things that, sometimes your copy sucks, right? And that's what it is. But like, you gotta look at the data. That's another thing. But even outside of the data, like people and clients not only just pay us for the results, right? It's the time. Like
yeah.
they're getting their time back while we are spending our time to do all the things, right? So like in a sense, like just a very simple example. You go to get a haircut. Even if the haircut comes out shaky, you're still gonna pay money,
That's
right?
so
So
true.
how does that how is the freelance calculating? How is
Yeah.
that different? You know, you still a person put in time and effort. Yes, it came out shitty, you know, and then if you as a business can't really afford to pay somebody and then guide them through, like what you like and what you don't like, you should be business. That's sense.
They even tested or give you any feedback at all? Was there any data?
No, 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 nothing.
But if like which look then was
It's not, no, that's like I wouldn't take it to like public whatever. Like there's nation. Nobody will ask me to send me anything. Like that I recorded. Like I totally right.
yeah.
At multiple times, but I'm not to go back to things like that. But for those who are wondering, 250 points come from this person was in the woo space, and they told me that they vibrate 250 points above me all day, every day. So. And those who don't really know about the vibrational frequencies or whatnot, there's a great book which I don't remember the name of it, but it's basically about they're more like than you are, which by the way.
I think the where's the you end up making a shirt.
Yeah.
Because
I made like one two and I was like I just but I was like, you know, attention was all you get to be but you know, that was like kind of like whatever, you know, not really important to me.
you feel very down to earth and like do it.
I know.
You won't sell your soul for like for a buck.
No, I mean the thing is also I had somebody recently tagged me about like affiliate something. I had to block the original poster because you know it's like I me like I yes I have like email list right and whatnot and 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 transparency and honesty is like something that runs through my entire life, right? And this is what I am, what I am, and so if somebody comes to me and goes like, "Hey, can you download an offer on the list?" If that offer doesn't go right with it, I will not. Like, money is getting right. It's just like you feel like I'm always I don't know what to do. And like, I everybody will know permanent. And there's like with here and switch you, not me, right? And so I walk him.
I think that's very different for the
100%. Oh, 100%. You know,
I mean, it's really like
don't say no. We have like no people in probably really like after you come in, you know, as you have to have perhaps the person right 0 so is 1 and more probably people yes, right. At first you're gonna feel kind of good on like people asking questions, right? But then it's gonna become sort of somewhat annoying because a lot of times people instead of going into the research first, they just like ask, right? And then you kind of, and then they make it. I'm like, I don't know if you've ever had that happen. Like, I have people reach out to me, tell me like stories of like how their mom has almost died and blah blah blah, and why I should give them my program for you know, like that sort of stuff. And it's like, seriously, guys, like seriously. So I just like block people. I'm like, I don't care.
I think at one point people become fiddle. If they
Yes.
really like your branding and your stories, feel like, oh yeah, but you're a good person, right? So that's why you should just give it. Like,
Yeah.
but also run a business, and other people pay. So
Exactly. You know, like, and I am a good person, and because of that, I'm just gonna tell you, please leave me alone, and if you don't get it, then fuck off. You know, but I will say it in a very nice way.
we're gonna make that a new slogan on the shirt. Just fuck off.
Just fuck off. Respectfully, fuck off.
Awesome. One more question because I don't want to take too much of your time. Just one last question.
Sure.
If there's maybe one big tip or advice you could give to like aspiring copywriters or freelancers in general, what would that be? Like the one thing you wish someone told you at the beginning?
In regards to getting clients, improving copy, or like anything really.
Anything, just any piece of advice you wish you could give yourself when you started.
I guess I'm going to share something that I actually shared with my students earlier today is, which kind of goes a bit against to what we just said, but don't underestimate um the power of a simple ask. Now, here's what I mean by that, right? So, like, it's not just sliding in somebody else's DM and like you've never met them and you just like ask us and act desperately, right? But what I mean is that a lot of the times, let's say you are looking for a client and you apply for a gig and you send, the message or whatever once and then you don't do anything, right? We all know that money is made in the follow up, right? But people are afraid to follow up. And they're afraid because like once somebody either ignores, right, or like just, ghosts you or whatever, we start to internalize and think, oh, like something is with me. It's my, kind of sort of thing, right? Like, oh, whatnot. But really the reality is like when you ask somebody, like the thing that the worst thing that the other person will do is say no, right? And that no will have nothing to do with you most of the time. It's going to be something internal, something with them, right? But we like to have a few students, the girls who like they're absolutely crushing it. They would just go to somebody and be like, "Hi, I'm completely new, blah blah. Like, do you know anyone or like, do you have any gigs, whatever,
Hmm.
that sort of stuff." And this is a very honest way of doing things. You're not asking anybody for free. Yes, you're potentially asking for a favor, but when we are giving people favor, like when we are, it's there's also still something for us as well, right? Like, I could refer you to somebody else, and then that person would be thinking me, right? That sort of stuff. So there's like this positive difference. But if you right? Because we're no, right? The best thing could happen it would be a yes, right? And I'll give you a very simple example, which it's like I'm not boasting anything, but like quite often I'll go for people who are homeless people. They just it is what it is, right? And sometimes, home social things change. And I don't carry change on me, right? But I am not against to buy a food for the person, right? And sometimes it's like, well, I don't have it, but would you like coffee or food, right? Or maybe a sandwich or something. And they would say yes, right? And it's like there was nothing wrong with that. Like, that's because they have nothing to lose. They don't
Yeah.
care about like how they look, how they smell, like they're fucking hungry. There is a need and they go and ask. So sometimes just go and ask as a homeless person in a sense of like, don't think about like, oh, you might be too needy, or you might be in this and this and that. No, just come over and be like, hey, this is the thing. Do you know anybody, right? Or I applied, I haven't heard from you, blah, 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 something, right? So, because I remember even when I really needed to get a client, I would
Hmm.
think and think and think like, oh, what is this person going to think about me? Oh, what is this person going to think of me? And like just kind of go into this sort of overthinking mode. But it's like, who cares what people think about you? Just ask, you know? But don't ask for free stuff because I'm not going to give it to you.
I think it's
Kidding.
always for like worst case, you're still where you were. Best case,
Yeah,
improve. That's
exactly.
it. How
Exactly.
to
Exactly. I mean, yeah, for like a lot of guys, even like in the cup game or whatever dating, it's like you come to a girl and you say something, you ask for a number, like I mean, she'll say either yes or she'll say, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. That's it. Like did you die? No. You were just told that I'm sorry, not interested. On to the next one. The same with, getting clients and stuff. Somebody says no, and then no, and then no, and no, and then a yes. And all you need is just one yes, you know?
next week your DMs.
That's okay. Block, 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 block. By the way, guys, I am not looking
Guys,
for any
don't DM Lana.
freelancers.
Do you know any gigs or other relationship?
And here's the thing, I do have people who like always, reach out to me, but I always like, I would say that a lot of the times with people, that's why expanding network is huge, right? That's why you got to build a brand. As a freelancer, you have to put yourself out there. Like it's the name of the game. I'm sorry, like it's not what people want to hear, but it is what it is. And if somebody's gonna say, "Oh, I'm an introvert," yes, bloody what? Me too. But you're sitting behind your
Gotta
computer.
do it.
Like there's literally fucking nobody in your maybe your family, right? All you're doing is just like putting stuff out there. That's it. You're not even interacting with people. Couldn't get any easier than that. It used to be I had to go and knock on doors and sell people stuff and interact with people. Nowadays, all you have to do just put shit out on the internet, show your personality, and that's it. And of course, like, oh, what are people gonna like the judgment stuff? So what? They're not gonna pay your bills. And if you're gonna not gonna put anything out there, you ain't gonna pay your bills either. So
We should turn that into something. Haters don't pay bills. Content
yeah,
does. Keep posting.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, the thing is like, and like, with the Instagram or whatnot, is like sometimes people on purpose will, like either misspell something or like there's one girl that I follow, and she does like, I don't know what she sells exactly, but every time I see her reels is like it's a cooking show, whatever, but she mispronounces words, and like I know that she does it on purpose,
For engagement,
but
yeah.
yeah, but it's hilarious, but also like fucking engagement. And I'm like, don't you guys understand? She like pronounces, like cucumber for a reason. So that
I think I
you
know what you mean. Yeah, I've seen it.
yeah, but it's like, like she does some like a weird recipe of like, I baked, red wine or something. It's like, so just don't take yourself too seriously, like that's it.
Just be yourself, and if you're weird, you're weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what other people think. Yeah.
I mean, I am as weird as they come, and here we are.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was a very enjoyable call. I think my cheeks actually hurt from laughing, so thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
If people want to find you, where could they find you?
In my mom's basement. No, just kidding. My mom doesn't have a basement.
That's a very
Well,
nice
I'm on.
basement in that case.
It's a 23rd floor kind of basement. No, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube. I launched my YouTube channel,
We'll put the
Lana
links below.
Sova. Yeah, Lana Sova, everywhere, Lana Sova. Yeah, I have a book that I wrote, Full Time Freedom Formula. I have a coaching sort of mini mastermind. It's called Copy Continuum, which there's going to be rebranding there going on. But for now, it's Copy Continuum. So yeah, I mean, I'm also on Instagram, but I am not there as much as I should be. Mostly use Instagram for my personal stuff. If you go and find me on Instagram, you'll see two profiles. One is, it says in the bio, friends and family only. Please read that and don't try to friend
Don't
me,
DM
because
her.
I will not. Like, it's friends and family only. So if you're not a friend, a very close friend, and not a family, you ain't gonna get in. But there is another account that you can follow if you want
You're
to.
welcome there. All right. I'll put all
Exactly.
the links below. But I would really
Cool,
recommend
Vince.
it,
Thank
guys.
you.
Like, if you want a good group, join Lana. Like, she has already shared so much cool stuff. You're only gonna find more cool stuff there. All right.
Thank you. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much. Really appreciate it.